Hey, welcome to the show. Today is July 10th, 2018. Before I start the news, I want to start with giving you guys some information about the film community, and that is because Matt Day has been through some sickness, and thanks to that, the community has come together to help him out and his family get back on their feet. I won't go into details on what happened. You can find it all on his Instagram and his wife's Instagram, which I'll leave details below. But someone started a GoFundMe to help them out because Matt's going to be going through rehab because he lost some of his body movements and such. But yeah, all is good. He's better. He's at home now. But I think the film community could do something to help him and his family and not have to worry about bills and things like that. As Matt, we all know, is self-employed, and not being able to work means, there's no income. So yeah, that's the first thing in the news. I hope you guys support it. I'm supporting right now when I finish the news for him and his family. Now back to the regular news. Jason Lee is going to be giving a talk at the George Eastman Museum. If you don't follow actor, photographer Jason Lee, he's been very active on the Instagram community and other places about film photography. Not only is he an actor, but he's a photographer. He's been doing books. And he's a big passionate about film photography. He even has like the big old 20 by 24 inch processing Polaroid camera and such. So yeah, if you're around the George Eastman Museum August 23rd, which is like a month and a bit ahead of this, you can go listen to him speak, which would be pretty interesting. In other news, we have the lab box with an update. They're already starting to do the molds. Some plastic parts are being already made at this time. And that's always good news because a lot of people were starting to doubt about the lab box, but I think they were just working out all the details to make the best product ever. The lab box did fund with a lot of money, I think way more than they expected, and that became from a small operation to a humongous operation. So yeah, good news. If you want to check it out, the link is below. In other news, a few weeks back, I talked about a 6x14, 6x15 3D printed camera. And I say 14 and 15, it's because there's two models that can be done, 6x14 and 15, by a man called Pali in the US. And one of you viewers, I guess, saw it and decided to buy it. And he actually sent me an email saying that he was very happy with the camera. It had arrived and put some example pictures were probably popping up right now. So yeah, good news is the camera looks great. Another friend that ordered a specific 58mm XL from Schneider lens to be compatible with the camera also received his. And there was a minor issue and Pali was happy to change the camera around to make it work again. So yeah, just want to let you guys know that that is actually something that's working out. And I love seeing that you guys follow my news and purchase real things and help people with their little, adventures. Also, if you haven't heard, Rodenstock has agreed to make a small run of their famous Ceranar S lenses. I don't know the specifics, so they're going to make all the lenses and a few of them, or only the top range or the lower range, but Ceranar S lenses from Rodenstock were the last and probably the best lenses for color photography and black and white photography. And they're doing a last run, so try to get it from your dealer. But meanwhile, Catlabs of JP has brought some out of the new old stock he had, and you can get some through there. I found this through Catlabs on their Facebook and I think on their Twitter, if I'm not wrong. But Catlabs has always been very involved with large format, and he's also going to be receiving some of the new lenses. In other news, FPP Project, the Film Photography Podcast, actually wrote me to my nicosphotonews, which was pretty fun and made my day, letting me know that they are currently stocking the Kosmo Foto 35mm film. So if you're one of those users that likes to test different things and support Kosmo Foto, FPP is the store for you. I have also plugged FPP before because when I've needed things, not only do they do a great podcast and do great stuff for the film community, but they have a store and they're very committed to it. Sometimes with better prices, or many times with better prices than the biggest stores in the US. So yeah, last time I was in the US, I ordered, I think it was 10 boxes of Portra 4x5, 160 because no one else had it. and I saw that the price was not only cheaper, but they shipped it really fast, and I managed to bring that film back home. In other news, we have a video from Adox talking about their old time machine that was made to slit film. And if you don't know about film, they make these master rolls that go like in these coffin-like boxes that have the emulsion. So there'll be hundreds of feet inside there, but it's massive. Depending on how big the master roll, it can be 60 centimeters wide. It can be even bigger. And this has to be cut into different pancakes, which is what they call them, for 120 film, for 35 film, or 135 film, other formats, maybe large format and such. So Adox has a video explaining why their old machine is being put back into spec, and they show the problems they've been finding throughout the process. I think it's very important for us to watch this as the film shooters and maybe film passionate people, because it shows the work that goes behind these things that we all complain, oh, someone's discontinuing this, or why is this film not in stock right now? You can see why, because film is not an easy thing to make and not an easy thing to cut and load into canisters and such, and Adox has this video for you. So yeah, I'm leaving the link below. It's a YouTube video. It's in German, but it's subtitled, which is easy to understand. In other news from Adox comes PhotoImpex, which PhotoImpex is the German store that is responsible for Adox and many other products in their store. Has a new website, which is good news, making it easier to buy through your phone and such. So yeah, check it out if you're in Europe or if you're in the US or other countries and you can't find a certain product. PhotoImpex has great prices and ships everywhere. Also from Adox and their website, we have news on the Coater. They're starting to assemble the Coater in their new factory. So if you want to see some pictures of behind the scenes there, I highly recommend you follow the link. From the Italian company behind the lab box, we have Ars Imago with the 320 film now available in 120 format. So they became they came out with this 320 film in 35 a while ago, and I said it here in the news. Now it's also going to be available in 120 format. So if you like the film and you want to try it in medium format, it's the time to get it. Also from Hamm cameras, that they brought back the box camera, kind of like the brownie style camera from Kodak, but made by them. I made an interview to one of their employees about it in, I think, last summer or Christmas, I'm not sure right now. It's featured in my video somewhere. If you Google Hamm camera interview or something like that, it should be coming out. If not, I'll leave the details below. It's come out with a Pinbox camera. So it's a 6x6 cardboard camera, shoots medium format, of course. And yeah, it's very inexpensive. I think it's like $20 to fund it through Kickstarter. So yeah, if you want to have a fun, do-it-yourself kind of pinhole camera, it could be fun for you. Also from Kickstarter, just as a reminder, the instant Magny device, because it's not actually a camera, which hooks onto 35 cameras to make Polaroids out of them, is about to come to the end, and they've given updates about the quality of the optics is going to get improved thanks to the success of the Kickstarter, and the design is also going to change a little bit. So if you want to shoot Instax Mini or Instax Square, film on a 35 film camera that is already available, you might want to check it out. From the FilmLab app, the app to scan with your phone, we have an update about them working on recognizing the frame, self-detection and stuff. It's good to see it's coming up. They actually rolled out the 0.4.0, I think, version to the iTunes store. Hopefully we'll get it on Android because I'm an Android user. But yeah, this works great with the digitalizer or pixelator, digitalizer little device that Hamm is coming out with Kickstarter too. So these two together should be really fun. Also, something that I've seen but I thought wasn't news, because I already knew about this film, has suddenly hit a few magazines, online magazines, and it's Pro Image from Kodak is being sold in Europe. And I never made it the news because I thought it was already in the market, but it happens to be that it was only on the Asian or market, and now it's being regularly stocked in Europe. So I thought it was always just in Asia and in Europe you could get it, but it wasn't easy. But now it's supposedly being sold in Europe. I've seen it in Parallax in the UK. I've seen it in my normal store here in Spain. So yeah, if you're one of those that wants to use a cheaper color negative film, Pro Image kind of has a look like a Portra, but it's not as expensive as Portra. Then from Intrepid, we have a few leaks through their stories on Instagram about the Enlarger. It's starting to look like a finished product with the backs, different masks for 4x5, 120 film and 35 and such. They've already done the dials and stuff already in a box. So they already said on their stories that it's going to come mid-August. And from the interview I did, or documentary I did on Intrepid, I know the price is going to be very affordable. It will hopefully hook into Graph-Lock backs. I can't say that 100% sure, but that would make it way more open source than if it was only for Intrepid cameras. But yeah, 4x5 Intrepid, 4x5 Intrepid Enlarger is coming soon, and it will be hopefully a mainstream way to enlarge without having to buy a hard to source 4x5 Enlarger. From Film Washi, there's updates that they're coming out with an Xray film in 135. I had never heard of Xray film for 135 format. I'm guessing they're cutting it down and putting it into canisters. So if you like that look, you can check it out. So far, I think it's only available through their normal store, but soon it should be getting to their retailers. Also, from a different boutique film, we have Yodica Film, which is kind of like a pre-exposed film that has very much kind of rainbow colors to it. I actually found out about it a few days ago, and I was in London, and they had it in stock at the Photographer's Gallery. So if you like testing those films that have different looks to it, not perfect emulsions like the usual stuff, and you like this experimental, it's the film for you. I'll leave the link below. Or also from Kodak, we have updates on the Ektachrome, and not through Kodak, but from AG Photographic, which have a lab and a photography supply store, which they said on Twitter that they're receiving some test rolls to develop for Kodak of Ektachrome, and then they have to ship it back. So the good news is they're already going forward in the next process of tests and stuff, sending it to different labs around the world. So hopefully we'll hear about Ektachrome very soon. Also, I got a little hint from YouTube comment about Open SX70, and Open SX70 is a project for open sourcing the famous Polaroid SX70, giving it manual controls and such. There's a few companies that have done something similar. We have Mint cameras with the little SX70 little bar that gave you like the speed dial. But this is an open project, so it's open source. Everything is there, so you can build it yourself. So it's very interesting. There's a few channels on YouTube that's going to be featuring this. Analog Things from Marco is going to do a little thing with it. I hopefully have a few SX70s, so if they're watching this, they can send me a little module and I'll happily do a review of it. I don't shoot enough SX70s, so it'd be a great chance to do it. So yeah, that's all for this week's news. Remember to go help Matt Day if you can and his family. Photography wouldn't be anything without the community, so I think that's very important. And as always, if you have any information, you can send an email to the email below. See you next week.